Okay, the last video lesson of the year. Okay, so there'll be this assignment today that'll be pretty easy, and then a little quizzes thing. Not a quiz, it's not that many points, don't worry. On Thursday, and then we are done. All right, we're supposed to do something next week, but next week I'll just let you guys turn in anything last minute that you have, and then so we're done. Okay, all right, this is called normal distribution. All right, if I zoom in on this. All right, so this right here is a bell curve, okay? They call it a bell curve because it looks like a bell, all right? So the idea is this is the mean in the middle, all right? That symbol right there, that's the mean. It's a Greek letter, so if you're like, what the heck is that? It's a Greek letter, okay? So that's the middle. So the most amount of people are in the middle in a mean curve. This doesn't mean everything, but in a mean curve, the most amount of people. Okay. And then from there, you become like the outliers are on the outside. Okay. So let's say, I'm just making this up. Let's say this is a height, right? I don't know. Let's use these numbers here. Let's say the average height is 160 centimeters. I don't even know if that's realistic. I don't even know if that's like a height number. Okay. But let's just say it's 160 centimeters, okay? And then the standard deviation means each one of these jumps would be, well, this would be 20, okay? So each standard deviation is 20. So you go from 160 is right in the middle, okay? 160 goes to 180, goes to 200, all right? And then the other way, 160 becomes 140, becomes 120, becomes 100, okay? So that's the idea, all right? Now, okay, this is the mean in a bell curve, all right? It's also the median and the mode, but we don't need that, all right? So this is 50% of the people are higher number, and 50% of the people are lower number. So it's exactly symmetrical. So the same number of people that are on the low end are the same number of people on the high end, okay? So if you're talking about shoe size, right? I don't know if that really fits in a mean graph, but if it did, this would be the absolute highest shoe size over here. This would be the high, and this would be the absolute low. Okay. Now the same number of people that have the highest and are the same number of people that are the lowest. All right. So the idea is most people are right here in the middle. Okay. Now what do I mean by most people? All right. In between one standard deviation. So here's the middle, and if you go one this way and one this way, that's 68% of the people fit right in the middle of that. Okay. When you go two standard deviations, well, now what does that mean? You make two jumps. So here's the middle, and you go 2 jumps this way, and 2 jumps that way. That is 95%. Okay? And if you go 3 standard deviations, so 1, 2, 3, that's 99.7%. So all that's left over here in that tiny little spot is 0.15, and then this is 0.15. So almost 100% of people fit into the other categories, okay? So if you look at this one here, so 34 plus 34, this is 68, okay? Now, 13.5 plus 34 plus 34 plus 13.5 is 95. All right, now, 100% of the people fit underneath here, so what's left? 100 minus 95 is 5, okay? Now, 5, but that means 2.5 this way and 2.5 this way, okay? So that's how you read this, okay? All right, so it says, given the mean, 20.5, and the standard deviation, 1.5, make a chart, okay? So the mean, this goes in the middle, so 20.5 goes in the middle, all right? And then now, you just, where's my calculator? Oh. Okay. You take 20.5 and you add 1.5. Okay. So that's 22. 22 goes right there. All right, now add another 1.5. 23.5. Add another 1.5. 25. That's all you got to do. All right, now the other way, subtract. 20.5 minus 1.5 is 19. Minus 1.5 is 17.5. Minus 1.5 is 16. Okay, so you just, all it means is you start in the middle and you add and subtract. Okay. All right, now here they give you the chart and they're going to ask you questions on it, right? So let's answer two questions first. What's the mean and what's the standard deviation? Now, again, what does that word mean? It means how much is each jump. So the mean is the middle, so that's 8, okay? And then how much is each jump? So how much from 8 to 10 is 2, okay? And they're all 2. 10 to 12, 12 to 14, etc. Okay? All right, now, when you answer these questions about percents, you want to be looking at this percentage right here, these two charts, okay? So what I'm actually going to give you, all right, is look at this picture, okay? It's got everything right here. This is another sheet that I gave you, all right? So 34 plus 34 is 68, all right? 13 and a half and 13 and a half is 27. 68 plus 27 is 95, all right? And then from here to here, now what does that mean? That's 1, 2, 3 standard deviations one way, and 1, 2, 3. So we call that plus or minus 3 standard deviations, okay? Because what does that mean, plus or minus? We go 3 that way or 3 that way, okay? And then that covers 99.7. All right, so all of your homework questions, all of the questions on Thursday, you can really answer if you just look at this picture, okay? So this is actually a really cool topic, but it's just, you know, I wish we could spend like a week on it at school. All right, what percent falls between 6 and 10? So 6 to 10. All right, so how much is that? That's the middle 2, right? So the middle 2, you look at your picture, the middle 2 is 34 and 34 is 68%. Okay. How about 4 to 6? Okay. So just pay attention to which one that is. 4 to 6 is right here. 13.5. Okay. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is understand how that chart works. Okay. And again, I didn't say memorize it. Just understand how it works. Just be able to look at it. Okay. All right. 68% scored between 70 and 80. All right. So, and it says, what is the mean? What is one standard deviation? Okay. So you got to, it says 68%. So where's 68%? In between 1 each from the middle, right? That's the mean. And then 1 each way. So this is 60 and this is, oh, I'm sorry. Not 60 and 70, but 70 and 80, right? All right, so 70 and 80. So what's the middle? Because you want to find the middle because the mean is right in the middle. Okay, so 70 plus 80 divided by 2. 70 plus 80. Some of you guys are like, I know the answer already. That's okay. What the heck? 70 plus 80. Hit enter. You got to hit enter first. Divide by 2. How about divide, not add? All right. What in the heck? 70 plus 80. Hit enter. Divide by 2. 75. Okay. All right, so that's the mean. Mean is 75. All right. Standard deviation. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Standard deviation means how far one jump is. So I go from 75 to 70 or 75 to 80. Either way, it's going to be the same. 5. Okay. That's all you got to do. All right. Now, same idea here, but it says 95%. Okay. So 95%. Let's go look at this. 95% is 2 jumps each direction. Okay? 95 is 2 jumps. So let's go back to this. Oh, that's the homework. All right, 95 is 2 jumps. So here's the middle. All right, 2 jumps is there, 2 jumps is there. So between 1.1 and 1.7. So 1.1, 1.7, okay? All right, so let's add that up and find the middle. 1.1 plus 1.7, hit enter, divide by 2, 1.4, okay? Now, so the mean is 1.4, okay? All right, but the standard deviation is how much one jump is, okay? But this is 2 jumps, okay? So if we subtract, okay, so subtract, okay, so that's 0.3, but that's 2 jumps. So I'm going to divide by 2 because I'm jumping 2 instead of 1. So each one is 0.15 jump, okay? Now, how can you check to make sure we're right? Take 1.4 and add 0.15, okay? So then this is 1.55, okay? Now do it again. Add another 0.15. Oh, what do we get? 1.7, right? If you go the other way, you could check it the other way too. 1.4 minus 0.15, 1.25, okay? And now minus another 1.15, and what do we get? 1.1, okay? So then it's like when you check, then you like know you're right, all right? So what would you get graded on? Those 2 questions, okay? 99.7. All right, so you go back to your picture. 99.7 is 3 standard deviations. Okay, so here's the middle. Okay, so I got to go 1, 2, 3. So from here to there. So 20 and 140 beats a minute for your heart rate. Okay. Okay, so we got to find the middle. 140 plus 20. Okay, 160 divided by 2. Okay, so 80 beats a minute is average. Okay. Now, what you could do, all right, so the mean is 80. All right, now, I got to find how much is each jump. This is 1, 2, 3 jumps. So 140 minus 80, okay, divided by 3. Why 3? Because I'm jumping 3. So because we're just going to add 20 every time, this is going to be easy. So 80 plus 20 is 100. 100 plus 20 is 120. And what's the next one? 140. We know that. So that's how we know we're right. All right, 80 minus 20 is 60. 60 minus 20 is 40. 40 minus 20 is 20. So we know we're right. All right, now, how could you do this? I don't know if it's easier or maybe it is. I'm not sure. All right, from here to here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps. So you could do 140 plus 20. I'm sorry, minus 20. Minus 20. All right. Then divide by 6 because it's 6 jumps. And then that tells you 20, right? So the standard deviation is 20. Okay. And then you would go from 20 to 40 to 60 to 80 is in the middle to 100 to 120 to 140. Okay. So there's more than one way to do this. Okay. We don't need these. Okay, this is kind of cool. All right, it says, which has the higher mean? Okay, well, the mean on this one is right there. Let's say 70. And the mean on this one is 50. Okay, so graph B has a higher mean. But not because the graph is taller, but because the graph is more to the right. Which has the higher standard deviation? All right, now check this out. The wider the graph is, the bigger the standard deviation. The closer the graph is, the smaller deviation. So the higher standard deviation is A. Okay? Just to give you an idea. All right, we don't have to do that one. We don't have to do that one. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the homework. Okay? These follow exactly like those ones that we did. Okay? So question 1, question 2, You can answer 3. You could definitely answer 4. Yeah, and then here you make the chart. So that 850 goes here in the middle. Okay, and then you plug in the rest of the numbers. All right, and then 6.6 goes right in the middle, and then you fill in the numbers. Yep, 5 and 6, 1 through 6. Okay, all right, and then we'll have a quick assignment on Thursday. All right, thanks, guys.